All that shit you speak is sweet like a high C. Now you's about to eat. These freestyles get spicy. All that shit you speak is sweet like a high C. Now you's about to eat. These freestyles get spicy.
That's spicy.
Oh, what's up, my man?
Like you can't spare an extra 1447.
Just hang out. You ain't going nowhere. And look, the camera's wider, so you can see extra space of wall and unfinished square that someone even told me about. They said, hey, fix that. And then you can see your Star Trek poster. You fucking nerd. And I'm like, I just want to crop that in. And I didn't. Anyway. Sometimes I get feedback and I forget.
No, look, first off...
Wait.
Go ahead.
You don't believe we went to the moon?
I used to my whole life, up until recently, when I realized I've only had a smartphone for like 9 years, 10 years. You mean to tell me in 1969 we landed on the fucking moon?
Yeah.
Walked around?
Yeah.
Hit some golf balls and shit, and then got back in the spacecraft and... Or the lunar module took off from the moon, docked back with the fucking shuttle, Saturn V, whatever the fuck.
No. They
took the lunar module home? Okay.
Yeah, they landed in the ocean.
Oh, and then they take the lunar module all the way from the moon back to here?
Yeah. Dog, in space, you don't have to make any turns, okay? It's easy. It's easy. Just go straight
line.
Yeah, there it is. Don't miss. That's it. And then, like, all you have to do to navigate the spaceship, right, back in the day, is you got a couple balloons, right? And you just, like, I'm a little bit to the left. And it just drifts you this way. That's how spaceships work. I'm sure of it.
What was the nicest car you could buy in 1969? Did it have fucking air conditioning?
Yeah.
Did
69?
it?
I'm sure it did.
69.
Yeah, I mean, it might have just been a fan, on the dash. That's real class.
That's not air conditioning.
Let's see. AC and night. Yeah, I think we did it. Why not?
I don't know.
Oops. We're not there anymore because I pushed the button. Can't use the numpad during the show. Crazy.
Hey, if they did, they did. But I kind of think it's horseshit because we couldn't make a Nintendo until 85. But we could land on the moon?
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's not that hard.
Wait, and then we haven't been back in 50-something years?
That's an easy one to solve.
Why?
Because you weren't flexing. The only reason we went to the moon is because someone was like, "Hey, America, I bet you I can beat you." Well, like really, they're trying to flex who's gonna blow us up, and we're like, "Well, no, you can't beat us."
Doug.
And then someone's like, "I'm pretty sure I could beat you. I've already sent a cosmonaut pretty high up. I'm pretty sure I can make it to the moon."
Doug, do you know America's mantra? Is that the right word? Mantra?
And I'm gonna stop you real quick. In 1969, more than half of all new cars sold were equipped with AC. So they had AC in 69.
Oh.
See?
Okay. Cool.
Now it changes it. Now you're like, all right, we made it.
It changes everything. Changes my whole thought process. Coolant. Doug, what's America's mantra?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Make money. Figure out how to make this profitable. You tell me we went and stuck a flag on the moon and we didn't figure out how to bank off of it?
We didn't have to. We shut the competition down for 50 years.
Dog.
By putting a flag. We put a flag down and said what? And I was actually having a conversation today, pretty funny. I was having a conversation today about the dark side of the moon. Okay, we put a flag up there, right? What else did we do? What else? Maybe on the part you can't see, we put a moon base up, and it's got sharks with freaking laser beams on their forehead. Okay, we don't know, and maybe now we're just going back because there's an issue with the AC on our moon base.
Doug,
we're out of lasers with sharks.
The government owns NASA. They can't run the fucking post office. You think they could run a moon base? A moon base.
Yeah, they could.
A moon base?
No, I'm telling you, all the smart people run the moon base. That's why
a base on the moon?
Yeah. I'm telling you, they get to a certain level in the FBI and they're like, hey, you're real smart. You're going to Sector 78. right? And then they're like, Sector 78, never even heard of that. Thought the sectors only stopped at 77, right? Sector 78 is the moon base. And you go on the moon base, 1939? God damn.
What did you just said?
Look at what I just said. Wait, hold on. Nowadays, corporations pay more than the government, so they have the leading tech. Yeah, I think.
Hey.
No, I think your problem was I
Hey.
think he's answering it. He's like saying this. He's like, dude, everyone was like, yeah, space, and the government's like, well, we got this post office problem that we can't handle. We got all this mail, but then we have all these cars that can't handle the mail. We don't know how to solve it. So some guy, Musk and friends, were like, hey, I'm gonna just.
Musk and friends.
I'm just gonna like make some rockets, and they're like, you can't make better rockets than NASA. And they're like, well, yeah, I pay better than NASA. And look, I just hired all the smart people that were gonna go work for you. They don't have government bennies, but they do all have free Teslas. And they're like, oh. So then all the Tesla SpaceX folks making badass rockets, and then they put NASA in a pinch, right? Like, hey, you like saving money, right, government? And they're like, well, obviously, I have to buy more tanks for things. And they're like, cool. Let's just do the rocket stuff. We'll do all the heavy lifting. And then we'll, like...
The Falcon Heavy. Heavy Falcon? Falcon Heavy. I don't know what it's called.
I hope it's the Heavy Falcon. Oh, that's a Heavy Falcon. That'd be funny. Truth. Nowadays, yeah, I just think I think they just flex too much. They could just do it better. When you got a guy who's just flying a plane and he makes music and he's like, I'm pretty sure I can launch my own spaceship from a plane.
It's the Falcon Heavy.
Anyway, I think we did it because we had to, right? Because someone was talking shit. So then America said, no, we're going to do this. I mean, granted, also, another weird coincidence, and maybe that's why we're talking about space today, is I've been watching a lot of this weird-ass show. I think it was like a History Channel show.
Okay.
And it keeps bringing up the rocket, okay? We borrowed a rocket design from some unfriendly folks. And that's what's got us there real quick. So, like, I think we got it.
Okay.
I think we got it.
Okay.
But you don't.
I think it's a lot to believe anything that the government says.
Here's what I want to do.
1969, dog.
Yeah. I mean, 39, we had AC. Again, we'll bring it back. Okay, so earlier, me and Rick got in this conversation, right? And here's why I think we probably did it. Out of necessity, right? All of a sudden, we used all of our brain power to do one thing. Okay? And I believe that's the same thing. I mean, I don't know for fact because I didn't research it. I just had an idea, right? I had an idea one day, long time ago. Some guy was in a horse and buggy, okay? Or no, he was at a road, walking by.
Okay.
Crossed the street, stepped in the freshest pile of shit from a horse. That horse looked around, dead-faced him, got close and went, nay, right? Like he knew that guy always crossed the street right then and there. So that horse saved the biggest
horse
shit.
Spoke to him?
Yeah, he said, nay, right? Took a huge dump right where he's going to step. Steps in. That guy says, you know what? If I can get all of the horses fired, then I don't ever have to worry about stepping in shit again. That's what I think I'm going to do. So then he goes back to his house, right? And he goes, ugh. And then he slowly makes this thing, or he very rapidly makes this thing that has a bunch of bendy shit and twisty pipes and timing stuff. The most advanced clock that didn't tell you anything, and it used mist to make explosions happen that were contained that brought it to a wheel. That motherfucker made an engine because he was tired of horse shit, okay? And I think that's what happened. Space came around, someone's like, I can get to the moon faster than you can, and America sucks. And then some guy was like, well, you know what? No, you can't. And America does not suck. It's really great. And then America got all of its smart friends and said, guys, crazy idea. I know normally we use rockets to drop bombs on things, but hear me out. We got to get to the moon. And I don't have any more horse and buggies. So then, boom, all the smart friends are like, I got an idea. And then, boom, we got to the moon. I just want, by the time we go to the moon again, right, I don't want to see shitty tinfoil things. I want like a nice like space probe that lands. You know, like Star Trek, or Orville or anything, right? I went to land on the moon all nice with like legs that extend, right? And then they push a button, and like a chute pops out, and a little bubble tent pops up. Habitat 1 created. Like, I want it to be dope, not shitty. I don't want to live in this fucking shitty tinfoil thing. I don't want to see pictures of a tinfoil house on the moon.
Doug, I'm just saying it's okay to be skeptical, okay?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. But if I was the exact same as you, we wouldn't have been talking for the last 14 minutes and 47 seconds.
But hey, maybe you're right. Maybe in 1969 they went and landed on the moon. Yep. And they all fucking danced, all three of them. And then they took off and landed. And yeah. And then we didn't go back for 50-something fucking years. You're right. That is probably what happened. That's probably exactly what happened.
Or the people at NASA. What if another thing's happening, right? All the people that are like, we're ready to bend to the moon. I want to go to the moon again. Like, I'm trying to get to Mars, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, Mars is cool. Let's do Mars. Fuck the moon. Whatever. It's there. It's nothing. It's a big ball of gray dirt. Okay?
You gotta crawl before you walk, don't you?
Well, no, yeah. So then we already been there. And then but then they're having this big old problem, right, with fuel, right? People keep making ideas of how they're gonna get better rockets to get to the moon, Mars faster, right? And then someone's like, hey, you know that shitty thing that floats around in the sky all the time? They're like, yeah, moon. They're like, well, check it out. Let's make a space station on that thing so we just flick rockets into space really fast. And someone's like, hey, we should go back and check that out.
I don't agree with Sadie on because it costs a lot, because money is of no object to the government.
Oh, like it costs a lot to go to the moon?
Like how much did we send to Ukraine over the past 2 years?
Not enough to go to the moon. I don't know. I have no idea.
Was it in the T's? Was it trillions? They skipped right past the B's?
Just dropped it.
Then we went right to the T's.
Well, we'll see. If you spend too many T's, you can't get rockets. C's? It rhymes, so it must be true. I don't know.
Obvious.
Obvious. Maybe that's why they get 20 countries involved. We had to get a T from every country. That's what it was, dude. It wasn't actually like a summit to figure out rules. It's like when you're
crowdfunding.
Like, yeah, Gold Sea coupons. Get your name on the plaque on my Patreon, and we'll go to the moon. And they're like, all right.
They're getting subscriptions. Yeah, subs.
Yeah. They needed a couple. We need at least 20 countries willing to give us a couple T's, and then we'll go. And then they did. I just want to know like what that crowdfunding looked like. Did they have like a week to do it, and they did it in like 2 days? You know, like Kickstarter. Anyway, the joke's funny to me. It's gonna be funny forever.
Anyway, I hope I'm wrong and we made it to the moon. Yay. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna always say that we made it to the moon because it's cool, man. It inspired a bunch of kids that want to be astronauts and shit.
Yeah. You know what else is cool? We discovered this. The United States. We discovered it. And we had dinner. That's cool too, huh?
But no, that was never as cool. We always were, you know, I think every kid was about it because you got 1 to 2 days off. Well, no, as a kid you got like a whole week off, didn't you?
Yeah.
No. Is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, like you love Thanksgiving because you get a week off. I mean, think about it. Every kid doesn't care about the holiday. Like, I'm sorry, they don't. They just vow to not go to school. I mean, like, as an almost 40-year-old man, I'm all about Thanksgiving. Because guess what? I don't have to go to my school.
Yeah.
2 extra days. I love Thanksgiving. It's got pie and no fucking work. Woohoo! So, anyway.
Well, this will be cool if we go to the moon soon. I'll keep you updated, dog.
I just want to know if they're going to make it commercially available. Like, one day, are you going to like cheap it down? Like, I think it'd be kind of cool if like my kid's kid, like, Mom, you're like so crazy. It's like, we're going to go to the moon and sit in the moon pool. Like, that'd be neat.
What if we could go to the moon in like 10 years? Would you go?
I mean, like, yeah, sure, absolutely, 100% I'd go. If it didn't bankrupt me, if it was like the cost of going to Disneyland, bet I'd go to the moon.
Yeah,
sit in like a shitty little like portal. You know,
I would bubble. Too.
100% I'd go to the moon. Why the fuck not? Just
and
because
it'd be
everybody
safe.
else
It'd be safe because we've been going for the past 70 years, right? So it'd be safe.
Well, no, we only went once. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the thing of like horror movies. Like once we get pretty good at going to the moon, someone's be like, "Well, what if the moon trip went bad?" And like they're on the moon and like
and you meet the alien succubus.
Or the moon worms that kind of come out of nowhere. They've been laying dormant for 28 years. If you fucking steal my idea, sci-fi, I'm gonna fucking punch you. It's mine.
The moon worms.
Moon worms are gonna get you.
Like Tremors, but bigger.
Yeah, and in space. They got the real high hops.
Dog. Next Afterburn next week. Let's talk about Maximum Overdrive and Tremors.
The best movies ever made. Okay.
Yes.
It's gonna have to be a double fucking episode because I got a lot to say about both of those. Okay.
A double feature.
Good fucking movies. I'm about it. All right. Well, are we done for the day? Have we space talked enough?
Yeah, dog. If actions speak louder than words, don't let your passion mask your work. My voice is louder than yours.
And in space, you'll get frozen and burned. Depending where you're facing. All right. I'm AK. Right down that way is RJTW. This is Afterburn. This is Spicy Freestyles. This is where you hang out every Thursday. Quit fucking around. Or you won't find out.
Deuces, I'm not even mad at you if you're not with me on them not going to the moon. I don't care. I'm just telling you.
Might. I mean, like, I like that you're like, maybe we didn't. But I mean, like, I hope you're not like a flat earther, dude. Talk about that next time. Next time, flat earth. We out.
I could be a flat earther just for a day to make it spicy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna push the stop streaming button because we're letting all the good ideas happening right now. Bye everybody. Bye Twitch.